guys, today I wanted to do a makeup look, but I wanted to start with my eyes first. I've done another video like this before, but there's a reason that I wanted to start with my eyes first. Here lately, I've tried to do a couple eye looks, and I used some really pretty shadows, and they had a little bit of glitter in them, and they would fall out on my face. And I'm just a person that doesn't like glitter on my face. If it falls out, it just drives me crazy. So, needless to say, I wanted to do my eye makeup first, and then I could do my face and, you know, go from there and take care of all the fallout. So, nonetheless, another thing that I've been wanting to try is like a coral eye look, because it's springtime, and almost, I guess it is spring. It is officially spring. So, let's enjoy spring, even if we are in our homes. So let's just jump right into this. So I have a couple palettes that I'm going to try to use some stuff out of. I think I'm going to stick to two. I've got a few different coral eyeshadows, so I'm trying to stick with just a couple palettes. But this is my Juvia's Place palette. Juvia's Place has some wonderful eyeshadows. If you're looking for some shadows that are very affordable, I definitely recommend it. I think right now there is actually a sale on Ulta with Juvia's Place. Don't quote me on it, but I think through the 18th of this month they have what's called a spring haul, and a lot of their eyeshadows were on sale. So if you are interested in checking that out, please do, because you won't regret it. And then I have this ColourPop palette. It's called the Whatever palette, and it has some coral gold shades. Not so many coral, but the gold is what I'm going to be using, specifically probably this color here. But we'll see where life takes us. So let's just jump in and do this. I was trying to decide exactly what shades I wanted to use. I think for like the crease color, I'm going to go in with this one here. So I'm pointing that one there. And I'm just going to take my Old Faithful big fluffy, but that's the wrong one. Where's Old Faithful? Here she is. She had a little speck of towel, you know how this towel shed speck of cotton, I guess is what it was. But yeah, so this is Old Faithful here. And I'm going to just dip into this shade here. These don't have names on them, so I can't really tell you the name of the shade, but it's just this one. If you hold it upright, it's the one in the bottom, if you're looking at it, the bottom left-hand corner. So I'm dipping my brush in, and I'm just going to do this in the crease, like I said. So I'm going to start it out here on the side. That's where I want a lot of my color to be. Again, focusing that color on the outer side of it and pulling it inward. A technique that I've been using a lot with my makeup is I take the fluffy brush. This is a Morphe and Jaclyn Hill brush. It's the JH30, and it's like my favorite fluffy blending brush. So I take my fluffy blending brush and I blend out my transition color. This is what I'm using for my transition color today. And I start in the corner like I showed you, and then I concentrate the color out here, and then I bring it through the crease. This particular color I'm bringing up above my crease. So again, I concentrate out here, and then I bring it through. I like the shape of shadow where it kind of like wings upward, because I just think that's most flattering for my eye shape. So that's why I choose to kind of flick it outward and upward. But I don't do this when my brush is like, my brush is fully concentrated with color. Like when I first dip it, I don't like put it on there and then start doing that, because you're gonna flip color up. I do it, I put my color, concentrate it, go over, and then I take what's left and kind of flick up. So that's blended through. Okay, so I've laid down that first transition color. Again, it was this one that I've laid in the crease. So once I've done that on a big fluffy brush and I've dragged it through my crease, I don't really worry about how far down I go down on my lid here. I'm worried about the placement in the crease and how far up I'm going. I don't want to go too close to my eyebrow, but I do want to take it up just a little bit, because when I have a hooded eye and I have my eyes open, I want it to still be able to be seen. So that's why I do that. Now I want to be able to deepen the crease. I want it to have some definition, not just to be this color. So I have a choice of going between these two, and I think I'm going to go with this darker one here just to give some definition. And I still take my fluffy brush to do this. So I'm going to dip in there. And I just go a little bit lower, and I focus this more in the center. I don't go up as high. This is more defined. It's not as blown out, so to speak. Okay, can you see the difference in this eye, between this eye? Just not even necessarily the lid that's showing, but just how much more definition that there is, because there's that deeper color. That's why I do the deeper color. And I focus it, I don't flick it out as much. I just keep it rounded in that crease. Okay, so if there's anything you do know about me, it's that I blend the absolute daylights out of my eyeshadow. And the reason I do this is I don't like harsh lines. Some people do, some people prefer that. That's to each their own. I'm not saying that that's wrong. Everybody can do their makeup their own way. I personally don't like a harsh line, so I spend extra time blending the edges to make sure I don't have harsh lines. Sometimes I'll even take a skin tone color and blend out the edges to make sure. Today I don't feel like I need to. We'll continue to go. If I feel like I need to, I will. But right now I don't feel like I need to. So this next brush I'm taking is more like flat and round. I don't know if you can really tell much about it. It is also a Morphe and Jaclyn Hill brush. It's the JH33. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a color and pack it on this outer corner. This also is going to give depth and definition to the eye, especially somebody who has a hooded eye like myself. It's really good to make sure to build that definition, because we don't naturally have it. So we kind of have to work for it. So I think to do that, I think I'm going to dip into this ColourPop palette. I'm trying to decide which shadow. I'm going to go with one of these. I'm going to start out with this lighter one, and then if I feel like I need to go darker, we will. So I'm going to go into this one. It's called Maybe Later. ColourPop can also be purchased at Ulta. I'm not sure if they have any sales going on right now. I don't remember seeing it. I just know that I definitely saw it at Juvia's place. However, ColourPop does have really great prices in general, so even if you don't catch them on sale, it's still a really great deal. Okay, so in order to get this darker color to kind of flick out how my other color has, instead of like flicking it outwards, I'm gonna kind of pull inward. I'm gonna take my brush and pull inward. And the reason I do this is because if I'm flicking out, I'm dusting out that color. And I've just started this trick because most of the time I do my face makeup first and then my eyes. So that's the reason I do that. Usually if you're doing your eyes first and then your face makeup, you're not really having to worry about this step. But if you're someone like me that likes to do their face makeup first, this is a good tip. And if I am anything, it's a creature of habit, and I like to do things. So like if I did it carelessly and I didn't pay attention to what I was doing, and if I had my if I had my face makeup done and then I was doing it carelessly, it's totally me to do something like that. So it's best if I just try to stick to my routine of doing something. So that's the reason I just go ahead and still pretend that I've got to be careful with it, you know. I don't completely run that color through the crease, but I do bring it and just kind of drag it through just a little. But more than anything, it's staying in that outer corner. See what I did there? I did the wrong direction. I got a little too cocky with my shade. First, before I do any kind of like taking the shadow in any kind of direction to make any kind of like, you know, wing or anything like that, I'm gonna make sure I concentrate that shadow in one particular spot. So that's what I do before I worry about, you know, flicking it upward or anything like that. And again, because I am doing the face makeup later, I don't have to worry about this over here so much. We'll clean that up. So don't be too worried about it and spend too much time on that outer section. My face, it kind of looks lopsided, I know. I think it's because I was in a car accident, and when my, you know, face kind of healed back, maybe some of these nerves over here, I don't really know exactly why, but I do see it. I see how this eye opens a little bit wider than this one, and you know, all that kind of stuff. So sometimes it does look like my eyeshadow over here is like a little bit lower than this one over here. But I do my best to try to match it up. It's just, it can be hard. Even when I am trying to match it up, it can be very hard to do just because of how my face is made. I wish it would do this. I've even noticed how my teeth kind of go a certain direction. So I don't know exactly what the cause of it, but I just kind of assume that it's because of a car accident that I was in. So I have to make up for that. So do the best I can. Okay, so now to go on that bottom lash line, I'm taking a very dense straight liner brush, and I'm going to take the, I think I'm going to take this darker shade in the palette. Which one? Maybe, I think I'll do this one. The one in the ColourPop palette that I did on the outer corner. I think that's what I'm going to go for. when I'm doing my liner on the bottom, I always make sure to join it with the top. Then just to kind of like smudge that out a bit, I'm going to take this brush. It's rounded, it's smaller, and it's not as densely packed. It's the JH42. I think I'm going to take this shade called Copycat. This is in the ColourPop palette again. And I'm just going to take it on the bottom and just kind of smudge the edges a little. Honestly, I probably should have waited until I done my face makeup to do this, but I'm not used to doing my eyes first, so I wasn't thinking. So now I'm going to take just a little bit of concealer. Put just a tiny bit of concealer on the back of my hand. And I'm going to take my concealer brush and just get a little bit on my brush there. And I'm going to carve my crease out. This is something I don't think I've done before. So this is new for me, but I want to lay down like a very opaque, like solid base to put this glitter on. So that's why I'm doing this. So I've carved my crease out. Don't be too judgmental because this is my first time doing that, and it looks a little different on each side. I'm doing my best to try to match it up, but we'll fix it. Don't worry. So I'm going to take this shade here. It's the like lightest glitter out of the ColourPop palette. I'm going to put it on with a brush. I was going to do it with my finger, but I think I'll do a brush. Okay, I'm going to do it with my finger. It didn't want to come off on the brush. Okay, now that I've got that lighter shade on, I'm going to take the darker shade I'm going to take the brush and the darker shade and just kind of mix them together, give them a little bit of a seamless transition there. There we go. Not too bad for my first cut crease. And I love that lighter shadow. It's like amazing. Absolutely amazing. So I'm going to do something else a little different to kind of open up my eyes and make them look just a little bit more bam. I'm going to use a Rimmel London Scandaleyes liner. It's in the shade Nude, I think. It's kind of rubbed off, so I can't tell. But it's just a nude shade liner. And I'll put this in my waterline. I don't know if I've done this before or not, to be honest. You see the difference in this eye and that eye? And how much it's like, wow. It just makes it look like really awake and bright. So that's why I'm doing it. Okay guys, this is the finished look. I think it turned out pretty good. It turned out a little darker than I had originally envisioned. I had something else envisioned, but it's not at all horrible. I think it looks gorgeous. The colors together is what I mean. Not that I look gorgeous, but the colors together look great. But I really, really like these colors, and I think the eyeshadows themselves are just wonderful. So I think overall I'm very pleased, and this is definitely a look that I would take and replicate for spring, summer-ish. So yeah, I think it turned out really great, and for my first time doing a cut crease, I'm not too dissatisfied with myself. I just appreciate you guys watching the video. I hope you learned a little something about my eyeshadow techniques. I'm not a professional by any means, and I don't claim to be. I've just learned a few things that I enjoy doing for my own eyes, and if you pick up a thing or two that you like from it, then great. So I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you again for watching the video, and yeah.